Hello, listeners. Thanks for tuning in again this week. Today's guest is a professional limo driver. They also spent some times doing bumper car repair, and I hear that they are doing open mics at acoustic venues. Ladies and gentlemen, Sydni Stephens.
It's so funny because I look like I would do all those things. If I rolled up in a limo, you'd be like, all right. If I told you, like, yeah, I could fix your bumper car, you'd be like, for sure, you're the person we trust. But I don't know how to do any of those things. I could drive a limo.
Sydney?
Yeah.
Sydney.
Most people get that wrong, too.
No, it's a little interview trick, but you state the name, and then you question the name, and then you reaffirm the name. So when you're talking to somebody, you start doing that. But Emma? Or no, Emma? Emma?
Maybe I could actually remember people's names if I did that.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but now I know your name's Emma, so nailed it. I saw you at the Keller one night because I had been out of the scene for a minute and see all these new faces, and I'm like, I'm the fucking old head. Then added you on the book face and started seeing more clips, more photos, because you'll see people. I mean, I see bazillions of people go to open mics at some point, and then you're just curious to see if they continue on.
Yeah.
And I've just continually seen you work, which is the main thing when it comes to, and you're also, because you've been doing it, what, 2 years?
Almost.
So you came in at a weird time, which is like having to make vertical video clips, having to do crowd work at some point, like all of these weird things that like it's now becoming a part of, like when people go to shows, they expect like, I get to be a part of the show now.
Yeah, a lot more people talk to you or want to talk to you.
It is so funny because that would drive, I feel like, most comedians fucking crazy.
It throws your timing off.
For sure.
And most of the time, like, I mean, there's definitely audience members that are just being like drunk, belligerent idiots. But like a lot, like it just happened to me in St. Cloud when I was headlining the Silly Beaver Island, or the guy thought he was being helpful. Like, nah, dude, no, you're not actually being. You're throwing my timing off.
This isn't an improv show.
Yeah, and you're lying. Like, if what you said was true, then that would be interesting. But you just lied.
You were not a veteran.
Yeah. Stolen valor in the audience.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck? I talked to him afterwards too, because like there's a group of people in St. Cloud that like they go to like all my shows pretty much, no matter like where they're at. They've like traveled.
Awesome.
They're fucking sick. I love them to death. Shout out to Ben and Rebecca. And this guy, it was a part of like their big group they brought out to see me, and I was just talking to him afterwards. He's like, yeah, I never want to heckle, I just want to help. And I'm like, you kind of are heckling. And he's like, well, I just want to give you something you could use. And I'm like, I don't need your help.
I'm already on the stage.
Yeah, dude, like I got this.
And there's a reason it's called heckling and not helping. Like, I've never been on stage, somebody heckles, and then I go, oh, thank God.
Right.
I needed help.
Dude, I'm not Santa. I don't need any little helpers in the crowd, all right?
Or we'll talk to you.
Yeah.
If we need some information or something, then we'll go, hey, you, how do you feel about pegging? And then we get the info, and then we go, see, this guy gets it.
Yeah, like, just ask if I ask you a question, that's different. If I'm like, when was the first time you were touched by a dildo? Then I want to know your feedback. But if I'm just saying something and you're just like, oh, it's like,
that's such a funny way of asking that question. When were you first touched by a dildo? Not penetrated, just Yeah, I was in math class and I felt something on my arm and I looked and oh my god. First time touched by a dildo. Touched by an angel, touched by a dildo.
Touched by a dildo. I like that way better.
So Sid, not from Minnesota originally?
Not from Minnesota.
Where do you hail from?
Texas.
Fuck.
Yeah, shout out to Texas.
What part of Texas?
The middle of fucking nowhere. It's a small town called Vernon. And I grew up inside like a even smaller town, like right outside of Vernon called Lockett. Where there's probably like, I don't know, 25, 30 people. It's so small. Dude, I graduated with 7 people.
What?
Yeah.
You're what, 23?
29. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Do I act like a child or do I just look like a child?
I just assume that all comics are under the age of 25 now.
Oh, okay.
That's clearly a me thing.
Most people usually think I'm older, so I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Well, I would assume because you speak like you're weathered.
I've been through like I'm an old piece of leather.
But that's the funny thing is you don't look weathered, but the way you talk, your speech should be that of an actual like 25-year veteran truck driver.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like the guy that so I used to work at a paper mill at the scale.
Okay.
So I was taking, to get your front wheels on there, let's get your cab weight, let's get your, what's your empty weight.
Yeah,
all that shit. So yeah, I've met many drivers.
Very interesting group of people.
Also, not a lot of smiles.
No. Every driver is just pissed off that they're driving.
Except for the guys with dogs. The drivers that I met with dogs, they're a little more smiley.
They got something to live for. Dude, driving trucks is fun, but it gets pretty lonely. I mean, like I this is hilarious. There's an app on your phone. It's Android only. It's called
Grinder.
No, yeah, brother. I'm on the grinders. No, it's like a CB app, but for your phone.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like worldwide. It's called and I'm not trying to do an advertisement for them, by the way.
We're gonna bleep out.
But it's like I met so many people on there. Like I got on there like because it came out. The app launched right as I started driving trucks. And it's just like you can only listen to so many audiobooks until you're like, I need to talk to people. And there was always people on. And it was like a party chat, but it was just like truck drivers and like random people that found the app that weren't truck drivers. And like this app grew and like people were like meeting in real life.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like people were going to like campouts and stuff, but then like dudes were cheating on their wives. It was I sent like anytime I found out a dude that was married was like cheating on his old lady, if I could like get screenshots of like, like catch him red-handed, because their wives would always end up on the app.
Of course.
Their wives would find out about the app and download it themselves and be like, I'm such and such, because we all went up by trucker handle. I'm J-Bo's wife and I have a suspicion that he's cheating on me, and I would just like find their username in the list and just send them the photo.
Just a full vigilante, like.
I've ended a few marriages.
Oh, you looking for J-Bo? Oh shit! Yeah, he's over here. He's posting pictures of the ladies' buttholes.
I'm pretty sure he's inside of one right now.
Ah shit! It's my butthole. I'm sorry, miss. It's like she comes on. They should call this app Lot Lizards app.
For real though, it was.
Speaking of lot lizards.
Yeah.
So how many years were you driving?
That's because I took a break from it to like go back to college. And I also dropped out of college. It's a whole fucking mess. I drove trucks for I think like 4 years if you put it all together. I'm pretty sure right around 4 years.
That's long enough to see some lot lizards.
Yeah, because I used to live in Albuquerque, so out west. Yeah. Out west is where the lot lizards are at, people. And I would like go to Phoenix a lot. Like that was one of the routes that I did, and I would always stop on I-40 just to take a nap. Because
Okay.
like I wasn't on a set schedule, so sometimes I leave in the morning, sometimes I leave at 2 a.m. You never know. And I would pull over, take my seatbelt and wrap them around the door handles and lock everything just so no one could like get in.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, these women would just come up and knock on my door, and I'm like, first off, I'm in a day cab. I don't even have room for you. And then like I would pop up and because I only had a driver's seat, so no passenger seat.
Oh.
So I would like make a little bed on the floor and just take a little nap. And I like pop up and like turn the light on and then like look out and they'd be like, "Hey, you want some I'm like, "No, I don't want company. I'm trying to sleep, bro."
The fact that you were a woman didn't deter them at all?
No. Look at me. You think it deters women from hitting on me?
Hey, mistress. Are you looking to get your box eaten? And or ass? I don't know what's going on here. It's real dark. Plus, I have glaucoma.
Not the blind lot lizard out there.
Dude, I like that. Like, a lot lizard that's blind, like thinking they're knocking on cabs, but they're just fucking hitting lampposts and
they're just at the fuel island, just hitting on.
I'm trying to suck dick. Come out.
Hey, that's hilarious.
Oh, dude, and then helping the lot lizard, like, would you help a blind person across the street? Like, come on, ma'am. And then like you are hi, sorry, are you looking for some company? She's okay, no, that's fine. And then walk her to the next.
It's like that big brother, big sister thing, but for the lot lizard. I'm like the zookeeper here at the truck stop.
Okay, so you were out west mostly?
And no, not really. I lived in Albuquerque for less than a year because that place sucked.
Yeah.
New
Mexico, I'm not trying to shit on New Mexico, but I am not a fan.
I am trying to shit on it. No, I like Santa Fe. Santa Fe was sick. But Albuquerque sucked dick. Yeah, it just that it was the only place I've ever lived where I was not able to make a single friend. And like, yeah, I was gone a lot, but like it should have been easier. It was so hard. It was like, dude, what I got to do to make a friend in this town?
I mean, I feel like everyone's afraid that if you meet a new person, they're trying to rob you.
Yeah, pretty, yeah.
Like, so my friend went to New Mexico for windmill repair school. Apparently, they have like one of the best like tech colleges or whatever.
That makes sense. It's windy as fuck there.
So he went, drove out, and he like first gets into New Mexico, and somebody's hitchhiking, and this dude is like the kindest human being, and just wants to believe the best in people.
Yeah, you can't do that in New Mexico.
So he picks this guy up, and he's like, "So where are you headed?" And the guy pulls out a knife and goes to the next off ramp, and my friend is just like going, "I cannot fucking believe you. This is horrible. You're taking advantage of and like just belittling this dude." And he stops the car, and the guy, like, he said he kind of had a confused look on his face, and so he just grabbed the knife out of his hand, threw it out the driver's side window, and then he goes, "Get the fuck out of my car!" And the guy was like, he opens the door, gets 1 foot out. My friend speeds off. So the guy falls out of his car, but that like ruined him. So he went to school for, I can't remember if he finished his degree or not, but
that's insane.
Instead of driving back home, he sold his car, kept that money, and then hitchhiked and hopped train all the way back to Minnesota.
Wait, what?
He wanted to prove that there are good people out there. So, yeah, he went full hobo
What?
and train hopped and got hitchhiked with people. And it's a beautiful story.
It's beautiful, but that's also hilarious.
Yeah.
That he's like, you know what? He's like dedicated. He's like, I'm going to prove there are good people out in this world, and I'm going to hitchhike, and I'm going to do it the right way. It's like,
yes.
It's like, what the fuck? Also, he threw the knife out of the window.
So funny.
Like, he could have just kept it.
He could have kept it. He could have aimed it at the guy. But no, he did such a good job of making this person feel bad about what they did that he was like, I don't even need this.
That the FBI should hire
Shame
this
on
dude.
you.
That's
no shit.
That's insane. He like brought this dude down. Like he was probably about to get jacked for everything he had.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey man, have you ever thought how fucked up this is? And the guy was like, shit, dude, I guess you're right. And just long enough for your friend to grab a knife and throw like, what the fuck?
And then, yeah, we hadn't seen him for, I forget how long it took him to get back to Minnesota.
Probably a while.
But he comes back and he's just filthy. And we're like, what? Hair's super long. And yeah, we're just like, why? And then, yeah, he told us the story. We're like, if it was anybody else, I would not believe them about like grabbing the knife and that whole thing. Because nobody survives that. And nobody is like so caught off guard that you would even reach for it, that they would let it happen.
Yeah.
Most of the time, very aggressive and very much ready for you to try anything.
Yeah, he's super lucky. And I don't even know him, but like I believe him because there's like a lot of fucking weird hitchhikers out in New Mexico. Like that's a thing in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many hitchhikers.
Mm.
Yeah, just all over the place. And there's like some pretty like Santa Fe, I like. Albuquerque sucks dick, but it's like it's not like a bad place. But there's like a lot of smaller towns in New Mexico outside of those areas that are like really fucking sketchy. Like I wouldn't stop there. Like if I had to go up north to like Utah or Colorado, depending on which way, like Utah, you would go through some like really sketchy like back road type towns of New Mexico, and it's like I'm waiting. I'm not getting out of this fucking truck here, dude. I'm not gonna make it back.
Dude, I've driven through Arizona, or no, sorry, through Utah down to Arizona.
Beautiful drive.
For sure. The wild thing about Arizona is those massive gaps in between towns. Dude. Where like it doesn't feel real. Like you think about like people who would, so that's now, right? There's still these massive gaps in between towns. If you're a cowboy riding horse from town to town,
bro,
dude, weeks you're going without seeing anybody. Like that blows my mind.
That's insane.
And it gets miserably hot.
So fucking hot, dude. They do not. It was sometimes in Phoenix over the summer. It would get so hot. I had one of my trucks, like the mirrors on it, that started kind of like melt. Like like shit melts. Like cars melt. That's hot. That's too fucking hot. Why do people live there? No one should live in that state.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It should just be a vacation spot or a place you go. Like during the summer, no one should. It's so hot.
It's so funny that like I wish there was a better system for migration because this state also sucks.
Dude, this state gets so fucking cold.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking all about like how hot it gets. And yes, hot, miserable, awful. However, I mean, it's still like at nighttime, right?
Yeah.
So it's these patches of time that you're like, fuck, this is miserable. But there's a period of the day where it's okay. You're going to survive if you're outside. Whereas we have like sometimes 2 to 3 weeks where no, you can't survive outside at any time.
Yeah, like you just can't go outside like at all. Like that polar vortex, I was still a truck driver during that. The polar vortex where it was like -60. What the fuck? Why?
It's insane.
Dude, I was so fucking mad because my company, I worked for a smaller company that no longer exists. Shocker. They made us work that night.
Oh my
I had
God.
to go to Iowa. I had to go to Iowa from Hudson, Wisconsin to Iowa. And on the way back, I was like 10 miles from the Minnesota state line. And it was so fucking cold that my brakes froze and my fucking tires on my trailer caught on fire. They froze. And because they froze, all that friction, they caught on fire. I had to pull over. Like, I was shut down. I couldn't move. I was stuck on the side of the road for like 6 hours.
That's insane.
I had to shit in a donut bag.
Wow. You know what's great about that story is that you didn't have to tell us, but you did anyways.
Yeah. You know, I'm pretty open about
You dropped some donut holes.
I did. Well, I ate 2 chocolate donuts that they weren't even my donuts. They were just it's whoever's truck it was. It wasn't my truck. I was just like, I gotta go, and this is the only thing.
Was it the Hostess chocolate donuts? Oh yeah, those last forever anyways. So
yeah, I mean it's fine.
I still eat. I'll still eat those from time to time, and my wife is like, "You're eating wax. Those things are just fucking chocolate wax." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's delicious wax.
It's delicious chocolate." I can't eat them anymore for obvious reasons. Anytime I see Hostess, I'm like, ooh.
You just hear. I'm assuming your shits sound like a clock. That's
yes,
like, yeah.
Like a grandfather clock.
Okay, so you're from Texas.
Oh yeah, we got you know Tiger King. Yeah, I'm like 2 hours south of where that happened.
That's awesome.
My cousin got to do an interview with one of the cast members.
Really?
Yeah, that's how white trash my family is.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. I took my cousin to prom one year. I took my grandma another year. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Wait a second.
Yep.
Look.
I just casually dropped that. Like, all right, let's move on.
I was like, oh, that's a funny bit. And then I'm like, hold on.
It's a bit, but it's also true.
Okay, cool. So, who put out more, your cousin or your grandma?
Yeah, my grandma. Nah, neither. You know, it was just a thing. I didn't want to go alone, and I was just like, "Fuck it, you want to just go?"
That's so funny.
And my grandma always wanted to like go to a prom, but she didn't. I was like, "Well, you can be my date."
That's adorable as fuck, though.
Yeah, I love my grandma. She's sick.
Like, I would imagine, like, if that happened, especially nowadays, dude, if kids saw a grandma pulling up to a prom, they'd be like, oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, that's how everyone was at because everyone loved my grandma.
Oh, that's awesome.
She came to like all the basketball games. She was like, I taught her how to do this where you like,
oh.
Yeah, so she would like do that to people. She tried to like do other things with her hair. I was like, Grandma, just this. All right. Yeah, like she's over there like throwing up signs.
What's up, y'all? I'm part of the Bloods.
They'd take her.
Dude, I learned how to do that when I was like 8. So I grew up in Oregon.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So both of us know how to say bag properly.
Yeah. Bag. The fuck is a bag?
I have this bit that I'm working on. I may cut it out. The fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah. So like, it was funny coming to this state, especially this town, because I grew up very white trash.
Hell yeah.
Our first house was a foreclosed house.
Fuck yeah, brother.
There was it's weird because it had a garage that we turned into a basement. So we were like, we don't need to park indoors. And then there was just this room like a dirt room that had like half of a car in it.
A dirt room?
Yeah, just a dirt room. There was nothing in it but dirt. Like maybe they were going to turn into a basement at some point. I don't know how they got the car in there.
Wait,
because it was just a regular door that opened up into this dirt room.
They just the car just broke down. They're like, let's just build some walls around it.
Yeah, I'm like, it's funny for me to think like they're doing construction and somebody's like, y'all bet I could jump over this fucking construction site, and they only made it halfway and it just stopped.
And then the next day, the workers are like, it says we gotta build a wall. There's a car, but we gotta. The blueprints say there's a wall here. We gotta put a wall here. That's so fucking weird.
Yeah. So
where was this in?
No, so this was in Oregon.
Okay,
so
okay.
Oregon's like a square, right?
Yeah.
We lived like kind of on the tippy top.
Okay, gotcha.
On the Columbia River. So Vancouver was like 20 minutes from where I lived. And then so Seattle would have been like an hour.
Okay, sick.
Y'all. But yeah, so like.
Or is that where the Northern Cascades are? Is that Oregon or is that
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I get states up there confused.
Oh, I
haven't been there yet. I was supposed to go, but I haven't been.
Oregon and Washington are like this close from being the same state. Like.
Yeah, notice how I said states because I couldn't remember the name of the other one. Yes, Washington. All right, so this is this dirt room.
Yeah, so dirt room. We also lived in a spot where there would be flooding, and one year there was a bad enough flood that the sewage system overflowed, which fucked up the water supply in our neighborhood. So we had to boil water to be able to drink water.
Damn.
Yeah.
Out there doing deployment shit.
Doing full-blown poor folk stuff.
In the trenches.
Like I would walk to school and there was a homeless guy that lived in the woods. And so we would walk by this homeless guy every day. And so like all of this wild, that's just a little taste.
Cool. Okay.
All of this wild stuff, right? And then you come here. We met these kids from Minneapolis and they were like, you guys don't realize how good you have it. The things that we see in the cities. And yeah, my brother and I are like, we watched kids get abducted and like, yeah, we had to boil water. Like you guys have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming so did you grow up poor?
Oh yeah.
Tell me some poor highlights.
Like Viennese sausage, Vienna. I call it Vienna sausage sandwiches. Yeah, that's a regular poor thing. I used to eat that all the time.
Talking about the sausage logs?
Yeah, the little wieners.
Oh yeah.
In the can. In the can.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
That was a regular meal for me. I tell you, I started working when I was like 6. I started helping my dad. He had like a side job of like cutting trees down on the weekends, and I'd started helping do that. Yeah, I've been working with my hands like my entire life. I got my first job when I was like 14. I was so poor that my dad made me buy a truck off of him for my first vehicle. Yeah, most kids get a vehicle. I had to buy a 1985 F-150.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, big Uncle Ed.
That's fucking awesome.
I've also been banned from the Walmart in my town twice.
Shoplifting?
No, playing hide and seek.
That's so fucking awesome. There's a sign for habitual hide and seek players.
She can't come in here anymore. She almost gave birth to a heart attack.
There's only one person that gets banned though because they can't find the other one.
Yeah.
Which is that person is also the champion of hide and seek.
Yeah. Yeah, not me. I was a loser.
Yeah, dude, like the meals are always like a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Like, I remember growing up thinking that like steamed white rice, you pour some sugar on it and then pour milk over it, and it's like this kind of fun little treat.
Yeah.
It also costs like 25 cents to make, I'm assuming. So
perfect.
As a kid, had no idea. Grow up and you're like, oh, that's poor people stuff.
Yeah. My poor people treat, I still do it, is toast, put some peanut butter on it, syrup. Yeah.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
It's pretty good. Shout out to my dad for that one. We used to eat the Dollar General. They had like personal pan pizzas that were like a buck. Yeah, I lived off those.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, the pepperoni being in those cubes, dude. Allegedly.
Allegedly, it's pepperoni. We all know it's not.
That's actually what it says. It says pepperoni and then in the parentheses, allegedly.
Microplastic, probably. 1,000%.
Or it's just the casing for those like sausage logs.
Yeah.
They just take that. So it's like the LaCroix of pepperoni.
Yeah,
There's a hint of there's a hint of meat on this wax.
Yeah. It's funny. It's so true. Oh shit. I mean, like I say I grew up poor, which I definitely did, but it's like, I mean, my dad had like a good job. It's just that my biological mom just took all of his money through child support and then took that money and went and got her nails and her hair did, went into New York company, bought a new outfit, drove to the cities. Like, she just blew all the money, and then my dad would have to pay for all the shit that she didn't pay for. So it was just like,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, she's shout out to my biological mom. Come get
some.
Nah, she dipped when I was 13, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Now I have a problem ghosting people. I'll learn from the best. She's fine now, though.
Did you watch? So there's a documentary on Netflix about Anna Nicole Smith.
I have not watched it.
You should check it out.
I should.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, my mom loved Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch this documentary and be like, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah.
Now it makes sense why my mom fucking liked this lady. Because there's this whole thing of like, yeah, you feel for her situation in some regards.
Yeah.
Especially like I could like break down the psychology of like all of the reasons why she was the way that she was.
Dude, I love psych. That's what my degree's in.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, I dropped out of college, but I ended up going back. Yeah, yeah, psychology with an emphasis in criminal justice.
I like how you get rid of your teeth sometimes.
The psychology behind why she was the way she was.
Oh, fuck that. I want to jump into this thing. Okay, so psychology.
Yeah.
I'm of a belief that like most effective workers in the mental health field have experienced some form of trauma in their life.
Some. Yeah.
You got to have a little bit.
Yeah, you got to come from like
just a little trauma.
Yeah, you need some empathy up in there. You need some sympathy.
Pour a little trauma John on your pizza. Trauma John. Was your motivation for wanting to be a psychologist born of the things that you've been through and wanting to help people?
One of the reasons why I chose that field is I was trying to figure out why I am the way I am. I was like, if I could just study enough, maybe maybe I could just figure it out. And I mean, like, I go to therapy and stuff too, but I just like I'm fascinated by like how people think and like what led them to those behaviors. I did not end up pursuing my master's degree because I started doing comedy and I was just burnt the fuck out in school. But I also wanted, like, my original goal with that degree is I wanted to be like a school guidance counselor.
That's so funny.
I wanted to, like, I know, me.
No. Just so it's funny to me for probably the wrong reasons. Because those people are so helpless in what they can do, at least nowadays. The amount of hoops that you have to go through in order to get that child, because the guidelines for intervening in a family situation are so stringent and like it's fucking gnarly.
That's the other reason why I chose not to get my master's. I was burnt out comedy and all the politics that like comes with being a guidance counselor. It's like, dude, I just wanted to like help kids. I'm not trying to like I don't want to deal with all these bullshit ass rules. Like, why can't we just help the kid?
It's infuriating, dude.
Yeah, so it's probably best that I didn't because it probably would have drove me mental. Or I'd be in jail because I would have just like taken all the kids to hell. I would have been like, I kidnapped them, yes, but I saved them.
You say kidnap. I say liberated.
I say rescued.
Yeah, man. I mean, school guidance counselors went from not knowing enough to now knowing too much.
Yeah.
Because now they're like, okay, we've been armed with all of these things and we know all of the atrocities that can happen and how microaggressions work and how they long-term affect kids. But we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's like we know what's going to happen, but we can't stop it from happening.
Like my son has a trans friend who's...
I didn't even know you had a son.
Oh, I got kids.
You got kids, okay.
I'm old as fuck.
How old are you?
36.
Holy shit, I would never have guessed that. That's not that old either, but I would have never guessed it. All right, your son has a trans...
Yeah, this trans friend who their parents are borderline pray the gay away.
Ah.
So not great.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And then there's some physical stuff along with it. Like it's, especially lately, it's been heartbreaking because that kid will call my son. Could you fucking not with the...
Sorry.
God.
Hey, you're glad everyone's lucky I pulled this mic away and covered it.
So like the other day, called and he was like, feeling kind of dizzy, this and that, and like describing these ailments. And so I grabbed my wife because she's an RN.
Okay.
Mental health.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I like you guys even more now.
Yeah. So he's like trying to get advice on what to do, and so we're telling him what to look out for. Next week, he's calling saying he has a runny nose and sore throat and all of this stuff, and I'm like, well, drink plenty, like giving normal parent things.
Yeah.
And the parents are in the house, but they feel like they can't go to them even for that.
Oh, that's so sad, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to intervene, but they haven't done this, and they haven't done that. Like I called CPS on a family one time because the kids were clearly hadn't showered in like a week. They were constantly hungry. So like they would come to our house to eat lunch, and like, yeah, CPS was like, unfortunately, there's food present in the house. They have access to it. And like, it's just like, God fucking damn, dude.
It's so insane. It's just so like, yeah, you CPS steps in and they're like, well, they're not getting hit. So
yeah,
it's so fucked up. The system in this country we live in, and in states in this country we live in, fucking sucks for the kids.
Yeah.
It just, man. And as a parent, like, if you do anything, you can just love your kid.
Yeah.
Like, you might not agree with their beliefs, but you're a grown-ass adult. You can, like, disagree with someone and still love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see eye to eye with my parents on a lot of... and I say parents, I have a stepmom now. I call her mom. She's awesome. Shout out to the step parents. But I don't see eye to eye with them on like a lot of different things. Like they're very religious and I'm not anymore. But I still love them and they still love me.
Hail Satan.
Hell Satan.
He just wants you to believe in yourself.
Let's go. Hell Satan. I'm pretty like whatever. Just,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a full-blown heathen.
Atheist. I don't know. There's maybe something there. There's maybe something not. I don't know what it is.
God is gay.
Yeah, I don't believe in all of the like the put downs that and I experienced that like once I came back to my church. I grew up not religious and then became religious towards in high school. It was like we used to knock on people's doors to like get them to come to God, and I'm like, dude, I can't believe I used to do that. I would hate if someone did that to me now.
So, not Mormon?
No, Southern Baptist.
I didn't know they knocked on doors.
I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure I was a part of a cult. I'm pretty sure there was for a youth trip one time they took us to Skid Row. Yeah, I saw someone get stabbed.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, I was like 15, 16, something like that. It's like there's kids here. This is insane. I get like helping people, but this is insane. Yeah, but like I used to not have any tattoos, and then Army got a tattoo right after all my training, came back home, went to church, and like I could already tell people were like, "What is she doing with tattoos?" And then I started getting more tattoos, and then there just came a point where I came home and I went to church once, and I just felt judged,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Dude, this ain't it. Y'all are crazy. I thought we were just supposed to love everyone and like, what are we doing?"
Which is funny because now it's like, whoa, my youth group pastor has tattoos. He's fucking cool.
Yeah, I know. This was like 10 years ago.
Like so clearly like fucking patronizing, or is that the word I'm looking for?
Pandering?
Pandering.
There we go.
I knew it was a pee-pee word.
Yeah. Just pandering to the pop culture.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. So I mean, so I did grow up Mormon. So
shit.
people will ask like, because I'm really good with kids, and they're like, "Why you know, do you have kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good with kids though because I grew up in a cult." And they're always like, "I don't know if I want you touching my kid anymore."
Stay the fuck away from my kid, actually.
But no, like one of the big tenets of like the Mormon religion is like families, right?
Yeah.
So they have this concept that the promise of as long as your family is baptized and you're sealed in the temple together, then you will be with your family in perpetuity, right? So yeah, they're like you learn at a really young age to start taking care of kids younger than you.
Okay, yeah.
Because Mormons, they got a lot of kids.
Yeah, the Mormons be fucking.
Mormons do be fucking.
In the name of the Lord.
In the name of Joseph F. fucking Smith. But I mean, the funny thing is like by the age of 14, I started to be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of this seems kind of weird. And then I was asked not to come back to church one time because myself and a few other kids, which now I know we were the kids with ADD, could not, because Mormon church, 3 hours long.
Jesus Christ. It's a fucking Stephen King movie. That's a long 3 hours. That's Oppenheimer. That's a long ass time.
It is Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
It's almost The Irishman.
Almost.
But yeah, so we sat in like a little half circle or whatever and just read the Bible and said what we thought it meant to us, yada yada. And they took that as like me trying to take kids away and become a prophet. I don't fucking know. But they were like, they told my mom to tell me that I can come back to church when I'm ready to participate. And I was like, if you guys think that is not participating, I'm out.
It's all about control.
And then, yeah, I did a bunch of traveling around, been to many different churches. I even went to the, I keep forgetting what they're called. It's not a temple, but it's a place of meditation.
Like a mosque?
No, so it is Buddhist.
Okay.
But it was just in some rich guy's house.
Okay.
Very nice house. Fucking huge. Bonsai trees everywhere.
Dude, fuck it. I love bonsai trees.
But yeah, you sit on a pillow and, do the meditation thing. It was the one that Richard Gere goes to.
Oh, okay.
Which was bonkers.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Whew.
He wasn't there that time.
Yeah.
But
he probably had some issues going on.
I later peed on his lawn because... That's the other white trash thing about my family is like we go to a place and we're like, oh, we should commemorate this by pissing on whatever thing. Pissed on Donald Trump's one of his properties.
Dude,
Ralph Lauren, Puff Daddy's mom. Not on his mom, just on the property.
No, actually on his mom. I forgot what we were talking about, something, and we got on
psychology and then how religion can affect that aspect, because it's tough for people to accept science and research as not being somewhat blasphemous or like spitting in the face of God.
Yeah.
When I went to treatment, I had to adjust because there's like no treatment center that doesn't have religion mixed into it somehow.
Yeah, AA and like it's
Oh
just
yeah,
that's
dude.
all intertwined.
Yeah. So I had to learn, how do I interpret what people are saying? So like when somebody says, I'm praying for you, what they're really saying is, I don't have what you need, but I'm hoping that what you do need is made available to you. So,
That's a good way to look at it.
right? So because I lack the capacity to give you that whatever this thing is, I hope that it's made available to you. And with that in mind, if God is capable of all of these things, why not just say, thank God for scientists? It's that easy to just say, you know what? Y'all wouldn't have any of this sciencey shit. Y'all wouldn't be able to tell me how much tartar I have on my teeth if God hadn't put this in place.
Right?
Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus.
Like, it's that, just go for it. If he's
Yeah.
capable of all the things, if it's that easy to do, just let that be the thing. And then you can listen to scientists and do proper things.
Right? It's also like your book's like really old and things are evolving all the time. And
It's been interpreted. That's the other funny thing. It literally says the King James Version, meaning it's not the original.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Like, it's like a Stephen King book. The original, the movie gets made, and so he releases a cinematic version of the book.
Oh yeah.
So this is the cinematic version.
Or it's just like the Bible, like the original Bible is the Stephen King book, and then what you're getting is the movie, which is horseshit.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
left out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Many nuances and details.
Yeah, all of them. All of them. I love psychology though.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
And that's the other thing, right? Is when you think about the psychology of that, is what is it that prevents somebody from, like, it is so difficult to admit that you're potentially wrong in some aspect, or that you can do this other thing and it won't affect your faith.
Yeah.
Because when I started learning that it was okay to be wrong, the world got so much easier.
Dude, life changing. Yeah, I'm wrong all the time. I'm like, if I'm wrong, I'm usually like the first person to be like, hey, yo, I was wrong about that. My bad. Like, I don't care if I'm wrong. Like, I'm not perfect. My biological mom tried so hard to put this like perfect image out. And I'm so opposite of that because like how insane it drove me as a child just to be like, we're not perfect. I heard you fart once, all right? I know you do it. Quit hiding it. It's fine.
I know you have a butthole, Mom.
We all make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong because if you're wrong, you get to learn.
Yeah.
Holy
That's the other
shit.
thing is like, okay, you have a belief or an understanding of a thing. New information is brought in. Oh, I get to change or adapt or whatever. Now I have a better understanding.
Yeah, dude, I change my opinion on things all the time.
It's like that with people in diagnosis, right?
Yeah.
So I have hypomania, or I'm hypomanic,
Okay.
ADHD, massive depressive disorder,
Ooh,
generalized anxiety.
Samesies.
So all of the things,
Yeah.
right? Basically stuffed into this ball is, I'm basically just a bipolar person. But because they're all diagnosed separately, it's like, okay.
It's like undiagnosed bipolar, basically.
Or
Kinda.
just make it a package deal, guys.
Yeah.
Do the fucking, what's that insurance company?
Not Geico. Allstate?
No, yeah, Geico with the
Is it
gecko, right?
Yeah,
And
Geico's
it's got
a
the
Geico.
Fran where she scans the things.
That's
and
progressive.
progressive. There we go. Flow.
Yeah.
Bundle and save.
Bundle
dude.
and save.
Bundle up my fucking mental health.
Just give me one word.
That way, instead of having to tell people all the things, guys, I am just fucking bipolar.
Yeah.
Maybe a little autistic. I'm not sure. Dude.
I don't think I am autistic, but people think I am.
I had a client one time. So I love doing accents.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing like prep and all that thing, I'll rip through probably like 3 or 4 different. I'll do like the German guy. So we're going to make sure that we are cleaning the ears. maybe some Southern Alabama. "Oh, so we're gonna make sure that none of this stuff here." Right? So all of that. And this person started doing a British accent. So I started doing a British accent with them. And they're like, it's so much fun, but they just learned that it's a sign of adult autism if you like jump in and out of voices all the
Oh
time.
shit!
So I was like, damn, I'm autistic as fuck.
Damn, I didn't know that. Hey, I feel like it's just like I hear the word autistic so much now, just
Yeah.
so much.
Which I mean, really, there's autism in general, right?
Yeah.
It's more accurate to say on the spectrum.
Yeah, I feel like yeah.
So ADHD, if you have it, you're on the spectrum. So if you
Perfect.
want to say you're autistic, go ahead and say you're autistic. But no. So I mean, the spectrum is also massive. There's
Yeah.
so many things under that umbrella.
It is a spectrum.
It is the
It
spectrum.
is the spectrum. I people have like questioned if I was autistic or not, and I used to get offended not because I have anything against autism. It's like because I have had a traumatic brain injury, and it's like I feel like it's bad for me to get grouped in with like it's bad for them. Like I am just brain jam. I'm not autistic. Like don't put that on them. That's my flag to carry.
Dude, the other thing is like, so I will like make fun of my disorders and whatnot, but then people get too comfortable and then they try to jump in on that. There's this episode of Scrubs from many moons ago,
Okay.
which was a doctor.
I used to watch it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna remember the episode because
No,
brain
that's okay.
injury, but
I also think this is part of my autism. I remember scenes very well.
okay.
So there's this scene where Dr. Cox is talking to Dr. Kelso, the small, old, angry guy.
Oh yeah.
They're making fun. So Dr. Cox is making fun of his kid. Dr. Kelso is making fun of his kid. And then Dr. Cox makes fun of his kid. Kelso gets angry and walks away. And so he didn't understand what the problem was. And then, somebody explained it to him. No. You were making fun of your kid. He was making fun of his kid. Then you made fun of his kid. So it's that same concept of like, these are my things.
Yeah.
I can say whatever I want about them. But when you start to jump in, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Because I understand it for real.
It's like the military branches. I was in the Army, so like Army, we make fun of Air Force, like we make fun of each other. Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines. We just all Coast Guard doesn't count; they're not real. But we all make fun of each other. But as soon as like a not military person like jumps in and tries to make fun of one, it's like whoa. Hold on. No. You're like, you weren't there, buddy. You don't know.
You're what's known as a citizen?
Yeah. It's kind of that same thing, though. It's like, hey, these are my things.
Yeah.
We can make fun of them.
Absolutely.
It's weird when you make fun.
Because, again, that's like very specific lived experience.
Yeah.
And, normal. I've never been awakened at 4 a.m. to somebody screaming at me.
Dude, it sucked.
Having to try to find my socks and whatever the fuck, trying to get dressed, and then hoping that I did it good enough that I don't get yelled at for getting dressed wrong.
So insane.
So I know, but again, that's still very surface level compared to like what you're actually going through.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is I forgot what I was going to say.
You were talking about, you gave off a list, and then you were talking about when people make fun.
Oh. Okay. Yes. So
yeah, look at that. Recall.
thank you.
Yeah.
That whole thought process, right? Like making fun of our own shit, trauma bonding with people, and because we can both make fun of the things.
Yeah.
But most of the time they're saying it for themselves. Right?
Yeah.
Like you say a thing and then I go, you think that's fucked up. Well, I did this thing. And then you just kind of go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
You think you're stupid. I'm missing 6 teeth. So like shit like that. I think it's a tricky thing because a lot of people don't want to accept a diagnosis because it feels like this thing that we're doing, right? And then somebody else comes in and you're like, oh, you're just trying to put it on paper. You don't know what I go through every day.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to give me this thing. And so people get put off by it rather than being like, oh, that makes sense as to why I do this thing.
That's how I look at it when I like, because I ADHD, generalized anxiety, the depression, PTSD. I said anxiety, ADHD. I think that's my list. I think I hit them all.
Bisexual.
Not bisexual. Unfortunately, I am straight.
I'm just kidding.
Most people think I'm full blown lesbian, but
Are you a car mechanic? Dude. So you said you'd had multiple, like, so was it concussions?
Yeah, I had some concussions in like before the army.
Okay.
And then I had a TBI when I was in Afghanistan, and then that's what really, I feel like that changed me a lot.
How long did it take for them? Because I'm not familiar with how a TBI gets diagnosed. Like if it's immediately apparent or if they're like, you've had mood changes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They did some testing that day.
Oh.
And like they I forget because well, obviously I'm fucking fucked up it not really there. They went through like this list of things, and then like I came back, I think it was like 2 weeks later, and went through some more shit, like just like questionnaire type stuff. And then it was just like, yeah, you had this. And we were at a place where we didn't have like scanning stuff, so they never took like a scan or anything like that. So it's just like there on my paperwork that like, yeah, you weren't wearing a helmet and your head hit the ground really hard after a wall fell on top of you, so you had this thing. It makes sense to me, like the diagnosis itself, because like my speech changed. I can't hear out of my left ear. Like there's like a lot of the
cognitive
ADHD that kind of like started after the TBI.
Really?
Yeah, there's like some studies, not a lot, but there's some studies where if you have like a major head injury, you can develop things like that later on in life as an adult. Because like that's something that you're supposed to have diagnosed as a kid.
So you were converted to ADHD?
Yes, I am.
I was raised with it.
I have not been here from the beginning, but I am here now.
Have you accepted ADHD into your life?
Please put money in the tip jar. We're gonna tithe. Anyway, there's like the ADHD thing was a lot. The speech thing really drove me insane. I used to do a lot of like public speaking, and then like learning, because like learning used to be so easy for me. Like school was just like whatever. And then like I went back to college, and it was like, holy shit, dude, this is hard. Like my photographic memory was gone. Like I'm having to like write things down multiple times to get it to sink in. I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. What the fuck is this? And it's like, oh yeah, this is how some people just are. You never thought you were as lucky as you were.
That's interesting, because I was just talking to my wife about that. I was curious as to when somebody, so there's some people who experience a TBI and it's very life-changing, like regression and some intense things, right? Do they recall being of like a more sound mind in those things? And would that then trigger you to be agitated and angry and like, why can't I just fucking drive a car? I used to drive constantly. Why can't I just drive to my friend's house right now? Like that thought in itself is so like fascinating and terrifying to me at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you experience any of that as to like, God, why is school so fucking miserable? It used to be a breeze.
Yeah, but not. I experienced I experienced that, but it wasn't like right away. It was
Okay.
like I went to school after I got out of the army. So like I get out of the army, my speech is already a little different than it was before TBI, and I was just like,
You've said that a couple times. What do you mean by your speech being different?
I used to stutter a lot.
Oh.
It wasn't like a lot, but it was enough for someone who speaks very normally and clearly to notice. And then like word placement, like instead of saying down, I would say done. Like words like that
Interesting.
would just like in conversation and in text would just get switched up in my old brain, and the wrong word would come out, and it's just like, God damn it, that's not what I meant to say. But I didn't like make the connection until like way later on, because I went back to school in 2016, 2017, something like that. And that's when I was like, dude, why the fuck is this so hard? Like, did I get dumb? like why is this so hard? And I was like I just started going back to therapy, and they were like, oh no, like this could be because you had a TBI, like you had a traumatic brain injury, like that this could be related to that. I was like, oh, dude, that makes so much sense. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating to be like, I remember the before times. I remember the pre-concussed brain and how normal and fluid it was, and how not normal it is now. But I learned to I adapt to it. I feel like because I did drop out of college, but when I went back, it was like I knew what I was getting myself into. And I got properly medicated for some other things, and that really helped out a lot. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, I just have to set aside more time.
Have you found that you're like doing things like listening to music or having some kind of sound while you're doing like trying to memorize things?
Yeah, like what the fuck are they called? I like lo-fi, but there's also like binaural beats.
Yes.
I listened to a shit ton of those in college. Just like have it on and like just have it going, and like while I'm trying to like read or remember, it helps my brain like take it in. Yeah, but binaural beats are the shit.
Dude, I didn't realize that my insomnia was tied to my ADHD. So I have to distract myself so I can fall asleep.
Oh, shit. Oh, do you listen to binaural beats to go to sleep, or any other kind of music?
I'll do that, lo-fi beats, or I've been doing, there's like marine scenes. Not like, dong, 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 dong.
I was like, holy shit, that's a lot to fall asleep to.
No, like aquatic things.
Yeah.
So yeah, there will be like fish swimming around, and so there's no dialogue. You're just seeing things, and there's like a little bit of music behind it that will help me start to fall asleep, or just full on ASMR. I have a little headband that has these tiny speakers inside of it, so that I can lay down and it's not like pushing up against my ear or anything.
That's so smart.
Yes, but I didn't make that connection that like being like, why the fuck can't I fall asleep? And then being like, oh, because my brain is too fucking like, what if we did this, dude?
What about this? What about that? What if we
so what if we started a candle company, but we put old Coke caps in the candle, and we could call those candles coked out? Just like, God damn it, I'm trying to sleep, man.
I was like, have you ever thought about this business plan though?
It's always like, yeah, like, and that's another thing is like, when you have ADHD, you're more susceptible to like spontaneous shit.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you have the financial means to do it at that time.
Dude, I've done so much dumb shit. So much. Like when I had a lot of money, I did so much stupid. I used to be a competitive vapor. Yeah, I've done some dumbass shit.
Fucking blowing clouds, dude.
Yeah, I did fucking blow clouds. Clouds blow clouds, vape niche. Ugh.
Dude, I had stopped smoking for so long, and then I went to treatment, and all of the good ideas were happening at the smoking pit. So I was like, well, fuck, I gotta start smoking.
I gotta do it. Dude, I've quit a lot of things, and nicotine's like, I still come back to it. I gotta tell myself it's just for now. It's just for now. I went sober for like 3 months. I've went sober for a year. I do like little sabbaticals.
Okay.
And then once I feel like comfortable with myself, it's like, okay, yeah, let's can you control yourself? And it's like, yeah. Like alcohol, like back in my early 20s, I used to drink a lot. I don't know if I had a problem or if I was just in my early 20s.
Sure.
But I like have no issue like quitting that. Like I could go years without drinking and it wouldn't bother me. But nicotine, it yeah, I would rob an old lady for some. I'm kidding. But like yeah, that one's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, nicotine.
Makes me feel fine. That's so funny. I sing that all the time. The whole addiction thing, so I've found, which is so funny because like while I was in treatment, I was like, I'm not going to be one of those addicts that fucking talks about addiction all the time. And then I get out and I'm like,
I have found my new religion.
Nonstop. But what I call the controlled addict.
That's me.
So Nick Swartzen is like the best example of a controlled addict, right? So he says that he's not an alcoholic because he takes these massive breaks, right? He'll go like 6 months without drinking or whatever. But the thing is, you're doing it on your terms with the thought in the back of your mind that I can go back to it whenever I want.
Yeah.
It's an interesting place to live.
It's weird.
Because like your traditional addict, right? No like portion control, like in moderation. No moderation control. It's just a constant fiending thing. And because of that, yeah, when you have control over it, you're like, oh, dude, I'm not the same as that guy. He could never stop. But the fact that when he does drink, he gets blackout drunk, like he's almost killed himself twice because of the amount that he's drank. And he still says that he's not an alcoholic. And it's like, my guy.
Yeah, dude. I've never done that. I don't think I've ever blacked out from. I mean, maybe twice in like my early 20s, maybe. But I also smoked a lot of pot, so it's like which one was it? But like I haven't like gotten like belligerently drunk to the point of like blacking out and not remembering what happened.
Well, and I mean, it also depends. Like I got better at drinking.
I don't like being drunk either. I just like having a drink.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then see, I mean, unless you're at a point to where it is affecting other activities. So like you have a drink, you're still fine to drive, right? So things like that, like where you're never stuck in a place because you've drank too much. Yeah. Things like that. But yeah, I got to the point to where I started to learn how much I could drink or what the sensation was, where I'm like, okay, if I drink any more, then I'm going to start not remembering. These other things are going to happen. So I was still drinking every single day, but nobody had any idea because my brain was like, all right, in order to be able to continue using, I have to make it seem like I'm not using. So like I got a promotion while I was drunk at work. Like,
hell yeah, brother.
It was
that's fucking wild,
right? It's fucking insane. So, and the other thing was like, people had a hard time recognizing that I had a problem because they're like, you never seemed out of sorts or like you never did anything crazy. And it's like, well, it's drinking at work.
Right. And I hate when you like try to tell someone something like that and they're just like, well, you don't, like they just try to deny it. Like I have a chronic pain issue and I'm like, dude, and they're like, well, you never seem like you're in pain. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know how much I've been hiding.
Oh, we talk about sciatica?
Everything.
No, I heard you talk about that too. So
before we dive into this, I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, so I'm old guy, but at a young age, I started to have issues because I was skating and snowboarding constantly and not taking care of my body. So my knees are all fucked. My L5 S1 that disc in my back. I have a disc that's constantly pushing up against these two nerves.
Mm.
So I'm on gabapentin, some neuropathy medication.
Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go, brother. Dude, yeah, knees are a terrible thing to have issues with. I've realized knees and back. Those things that sucks because like you need those.
Yeah, they're kind of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if somebody was like, "Hey, we can take all of your back pain away, right? No knee pain anymore. All we need is your left hand."
Take it.
I'd be like, you know what? I'll fucking figure it out.
I'll chop it off right now.
Yeah, dude. Being able to sit down and not have to put like, I have like this beanie that I used to wear, this Rastafarian beanie.
Yeah.
Because I was super cool, man. That I've stuffed with a bunch of shit so that I can put behind my back to push against the thing so I have proper posture. And it's like, I'm not 80.
No.
Why am I doing this shit?
Speaking of proper posture, let me try to like.
Oh, I know. I mean, with these chairs, it's kind of tough. Unless you lean all the way back and do a whole like. Let me just. So.
I'm here to
tell me about your childhood.
Oh shit! Yeah, back pain. That sucks. I have a lot of issues with my back.
I was just gonna say. So
a lot of issues with everything.
So, the Kool-Aid Man burst through that wall.
Yeah.
Right? He was like, "Oh yeah, papa." Initially, so how many of you were in
there?
Yeah.
4.
There's 4 of you.
Included, yeah, 4 including me. Me and 3 others.
You and 3. Oh, okay, so
yeah.
4 total.
Total, yep. We were setting these walls up. They're called Hesco wall barriers. They they like help stop like penetrating rounds and stuff like that. They're like these big, huge they come flat and then like you have to use a bulldozer to like lift them up and then you take a team and you pull them out like an accordion. They're like metal fencing on the side. Yep. The sand in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we had spent all day like putting up this huge line of them. We were building a square around our communication antenna because Ramadan was about to be over, and they were like, "We're market. We need protect." They were just giving us some bullshit ass thing to do. I'm sure of it. And we had this whole line set up. We're just waiting on the guy with the bulldozer to come fill it with sand, and then a sandstorm came and blew the wall over, which is the dumbest way to get injured in a war, by the way. The wind. And yeah, it hit me in my back. None of us were wearing helmets.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and like one of the dudes was fine because like where it fell on him, it made like this little house, like this little triangle teepee type thing. Like,
oh, Jesus.
So he was fine. One of the other gals got hit in the head. She had a minor concussion. She was okay. It hit me directly in my back and launched me to the ground, and my head broke my fall.
Oh, so you were far enough away where like it had enough momentum to fucking
catapult my ass to the ground. I turned my back to it. That was the other thing is like the sandstorm came and I just like turned around and put my my little like handkerchief type thing over my mouth, and that's whenever because I had no idea it was coming, so it just fucking boom leveled my ass. And then my other friend, probably the worst off, Paria, he was facing it with a multi-tool, like hammering in these little pins.
Okay.
And whenever it fell and it went back, that multi-tool hit him in the head.
Ugh.
Yeah, he was knocked out, unconscious, blood. It was,
dude.
And I woke up to everyone screaming. Well, I say everyone. I'm pretty sure it was just Morales. She was just screaming. So, like, I pulled her out, and that's when I looked down and saw Perea, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, we got to go help him. And we couldn't, like, pull him out. By that time, a civilian guy on a side-by-side rolled up because he, like, saw it all happen.
Oh, shit.
And I was just like, all right, fuck it. On the count of 3, I'm going to lift this fucking thing up enough. And I just like, adrenaline, I guess. Fucking just enough for them to pull him out. And I really didn't realize like how fucked up I was until I got to the aid station and the adrenaline started wearing off. And that's when I like lost feeling in my legs for like 2 hours.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking. I was like, oh shit, I am pretty fucking. And that's when kind of like the like TBI symptoms started kicking in, where it's like once the adrenaline started wearing off and everything kind of started like powering down a little, it was like, oh shit, what's fucking, I don't know what's going on. It was just like hard for me to communicate with anyone.
Sure.
But I ended up like getting feeling in my legs back. Obvious, I'm walking now. But I have like permanent nerve damage in like my lower back. I have degenerative disc.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have patellar tracking disorder in both my knees. I had surgery for it in my left one. Will not be having surgery on my right one. Not worth it. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend.
It's such a bummer because it's like they say you could have surgery.
Yeah.
Like letting you know that like because it might work.
And it didn't. I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were like my surgeon was so confident that I was like, yeah, we'll just do it. And I didn't realize like how long the recovery was. I had surgery in 2021. I'm still not healed. It's like I'm never doing that again. I'll just deal with it. Like just give me some edibles and fuck off.
There's so many horror stories, especially with back surgery. Like the thing is like with every couple of years, there's some new technology that makes it a little bit better. And so, like, I'm waiting until they have it fucking dialed in because, yeah, I have so many friends and acquaintances that have had these surgeries. One guy, so you could shave off part of your disc, right? Which is what they would recommend for me because I have that disc pushing on those nerves.
Yeah.
But so he had it shaved off, and then he was doing something, and it slipped and went the other direction. So to have surgery on that, they'd have to fucking go. Yeah, dude. So it's like all of these things that they're like, hey, don't worry, we probably have you.
We probably got it under control. Like that's not what the fire department doesn't show up to your house on fire and goes, we might be able to handle this. Like what?
We probably got this.
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear. Like no, thank you.
Yeah. So it's. Yeah, but what do you do? It sucks too when people are like try to come at you with like it's all mental. So if you can just
Fuck you. Go suck a dick sideways.
If you can just get your mental state, to handle it. Like I don't give a fuck if somebody tricks me into doing it or into feeling better, but nobody's been able to trick me into feeling better.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do anything. I've done acupuncture, I've done
Same.
I don't even know how many injections.
Dude, injections fucking hurt.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
And then I had ablations. So they went in and cauterized my nerves.
Ooh.
So they burn them off, but they grew back. So it was all for naught.
Did they know they were going to grow back?
They say that there's a potential, right?
Of course.
So like, I'm like, all right, so it'll give me some time. They're like, yeah, so it could. But it could take X amount of years for them to grow back. And it's like within a year, I felt them. I could feel the exact same pain again. It was just like, fuck, sick.
That's what, like, I went into surgery in the best shape of my life. Yeah, like I had abs.
We talking rhombus or octagon? What kind of shape were you? It's my shitty dad joke for the episode.
Bum, bum, bum. And I found jump roping. That was jump roping for whatever reason. Didn't hurt my knees, didn't hurt my back, it felt good. And working out my core was like, oh shit.
Interesting.
This is life changing. And then I listened to David Goggins. Can't Hurt Me. He's this like Navy SEAL dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I listened to his book and I was like, dude, I'm gonna run some ultra marathons. And my knees are like, fuck you. That's why I ended up having surgeries, because like I started doing all these long distance running things, and the jumping rope wasn't bothering anything, but the fucking running and the hitting of the pavement, dude, my knees were like, dude, we can't do this.
Yeah, that was another frustrating thing, because after treatment, I gained a lot of weight. I used to have this in my bit, but like I gained weight so fast that I had this weird bump in the middle of my stomach, and I was like, I have fucking cancer. Because I've never had this bump in my tum-tum. I went to the doctor and I was like, what is this thing? And she was like, I don't really see anything. And so I had to take her hand and be like, it's right fucking here. It was like this, it was like a little pepperoni thing. Circular,
allegedly.
And she was like, oh, it's nothing to worry about. I'm like, well, what is it? She goes, oh, so you gained weight quickly, and so your muscles separated and like just this tissue is kind of moved forward. So unless you start feeling like pain, you're gonna be fine. It's super common among pregnant women. And I was like, there's no way that I'm pregnant because I have an IED in.
Safe sex only. Dude, that's funny.
Is the explosive IED or IUD?
Explosive is IED.
IED. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because that was my favorite thing too, is be like, not only am I a fucking idiot, I'm an extra idiot. But no, that genuinely happened. This doctor was like, it's super common among pregnant women. I'm like, damn, dude. So I exploded at the rate of a pregnant woman. Like,
dude, that's so fucked up. Like, she's just trying to make you feel better, but she has no idea that she just like fucked your whole day up.
Yeah, man.
Like, yeah, you.
I didn't even get to the part. How did you end up in Minnesota?
Oh my god. I was living in Wisconsin. I've lived in like 7 or 8 different states.
Okay.
I was living in Wisconsin before I moved here, so super far move. But I ended up in this general area because I was in love and dumb and young. I met a guy when I was in the army, and we started dating when I got back from Afghanistan. We like went through basic training together, but we didn't like date in basic. We waited. Yeah, we weren't like that. And I was convinced that I was like, I'm gonna marry this man, and like, thank God I didn't. I mean, nothing against him. It's just like we were not meant for each other. And the plan was, as I got out of the army and I moved to Albuquerque because he was stationed at Fort Bliss in El Paso, and that was like 4 hours.
okay.
It was the closest I could get to him with my job.
Sure.
And he was gonna get out and then move to Albuquerque, and we were gonna, I don't know, I guess live happily ever after for 2 years. But then it got close for him to get out, and he was like, I actually miss home. You want to move to Wisconsin? And I was like, I've never been. Why not? Because I am spontaneous. So I moved up here before he even got out. Like, I met his parents without him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was insane. And we lived, like, his dad has like this big house, and there's like a basement with like 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a living room type thing. And we lived there, and I was like, we were doomed from the start. You can't move in with your boyfriend's parents. Like, you can't do that. It's not gonna end well. It didn't. Once we started living together, it was like, oh yeah, nah, dude, nah. So we split ways, and I had already made some really good friends, and I was just like, I'll just stick around. Fuck it, why not? And then I ended up in Minnesota specifically because I got hurt at work, and I was living in Wisconsin, and like I couldn't work, and my workers' comp case was taking forever.
Oh shit.
And some friends in Duluth, some other comedians, Patrick, shout out Patrick and Caitlin. Yeah, Patrick DeGeest, he's awesome. Caitlin, they're awesome. They were like, why don't you just come live with us until you can get back on your feet, literally. And financially, but yeah, figuratively and literally. And so that's how I ended up here. Moved up to Duluth for the summer, last summer, got on my feet, and then I was like, let's go to Minneapolis. I almost said, let's go to Minnesota when we're already in. Jesus Christ, let's go to Minneapolis. So I've been living in Minneapolis since November.
Nice. Well, I mean, environment-wise, it does feel like very different places, Duluth and Minneapolis.
Very.
But the amount of women that I've met who ended up here because of a man is like, it's too common.
That's why there's women in Minnesota. We just end up here because of estranged ex-lovers.
Exactly. And a lot of them have kids, so they're like, well, I can't move. It's like, that's so unfair.
Yeah, that is unfair.
Like, in that situation, whoever has the better state should get custody of the kids, and then that person gets to fuck off. Like,
I support that. I don't have kids, thankfully. I have nothing against kids. I would just never. But not for me.
I'm gonna be making shirts that say no to kids.
Yeah, I'll buy one.
Stop having kids.
Yeah, we don't need them. There's too many people here.
Which is funny because I love my kids, and I love kids in general.
Yeah, they're awesome.
However, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Just go to fucking Home Depot. grab yourself some kids.
They'll rescue one. All
there's
right.
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot
Adopt, don't shop.
of pre-existing kids. Adopt, don't shop.
No, I'm thankful I don't have kids because then I for real would be trapped here and still have to talk to my ex on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I'm just good on all fronts. I'm good. And it's not like I fucked up a lot in that relationship too. I'm not perfect.
Oh, sure.
I'm very toxic in relationships, to be honest. I'm a great friend. I will do anything for my friends, but I am a terrible person to date.
Yeah, I mean, we typically are. I mean, people with, so like, let's say you just have ADHD.
That's already bad.
Yeah, you're already a little prone to some of the fun stuff. You start tacking things onto that, and then it's like, because, someone you're dating is like, ADHD. I don't even know if, maybe I have it too.
Yeah.
Who knows? And then all the other things. They're like, why are you crying in the garage by yourself?
Why are you breaking down in Costco? What's going on?
And then, the more things that start to pop up, they're like, okay, I can't do this. And then you're like, oh, I thought you said you could fucking handle this. And, you start posturing and do the thing that red pandas do where they put their hands up. And
dude, I love red pandas.
Same.
Yeah, they're so cute. It's
amazing.
Oh, so adorable.
The even more adorable thing is when they do that stand-up thing, they're trying to be like, look how fucking tough I am.
Yeah, that's their like, fuck you, bitch. I'm big dog. I'm the big one. Fuck around, find out.
And it's like, I just want to give you tickles.
Yeah. I don't really do that a lot.
You don't tickle the armpits in relationships?
No.
Sure.
I hate being tickled.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, don't do it. Because like I have such knee-jerk reactions and like you know how many fucking dudes I've just clocked in the face by accident? It's like you came up from behind me and hit my tickle spot. Which sounds sexual.
Sounds so sexual.
No,
it sounds like you grew up not saying vagina and you're like, my tickle spot.
Yeah, I didn't grow up saying vagina.
Oh.
We said puddin'.
Oh. Wonderful. My daughter grew up saying hoo-ha.
I like hoo-ha. I mean, that was a hoo-ha, cooter, and puddin'. Cooter's my favorite.
Cooter is also the most aggressive one.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Because it's borderline. You're like, it's not a bad word.
No.
But it's not a great descriptor either.
It's not.
Because it makes it sound like your vagina is a gremlin. And if you put water on it.
It's exactly what happened. Don't feed it after midnight. See, anytime I hear cooter, I just imagine like a boat.
Oh.
Yeah. And like dude named Cooter out in the bayou fishing for gators.
What's up? My name's Cooter. This here's my brother Curtis Jr. and that's Junior with a G.
With a G. Oh shit.
Yeah, I love doing voices.
I can't do voices. So
all it takes is if you can stand looking at yourself in the mirror for like 20 minutes.
I'm out.
Which I know. This voice actor said that. He was like, all you got to do, stare at yourself in the mirror for 20 minutes. As soon as he said that, I was like, ugh, don't want to.
Yeah, no.
But I do want to sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so.
You just got to like stare at yourself and think about it, and it's just like...
No, you look in the mirror and then you do the voice,
oh,
right?
Okay.
So you could either describe yourself or phrases, whatever, but like just... Because there's no distractions. You're just looking at yourself and just trying to nail the thing. Which, I mean, everybody has their limits, so it's not like you're going to sound exactly like whatever the thing is, but you'll at least be somewhat close.
Somewhat close. Yeah, I don't even have a southern accent really anymore. Sometimes it comes out, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't really... If anything, I would say you sound more like people from Idaho.
Ugh.
Because they have... It's not...
I've never even been to Idaho.
There's like a couple spots in Idaho that are beautiful.
Okay.
But then the rest of it is whatever.
Perfect.
But they have like this southern, almost like Western cowboy kind of accent, but they're also close enough to the West Coast that it's not like a full anything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you are. Like, if you leaned a little more one way, could be surfer chick. If you lean the other way, could be
Conservative. No.
Yeah. I was gonna say, don't. If my daughter brings somebody of the wrong race home, I might have a problem. Kind
Oh
of thing.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be that.
I ran into a lady from Idaho at this convention in Vegas. What the fuck did I asked her like some normal question. Like, she said she's from Idaho, and I was like, oh, do you know where Emmett is? Or like this other town? She was like, oh, I'm so glad I met you. When I tell people I'm from Idaho, they either ask if I love potatoes or if I'm racist. Which is silly because racists love potatoes.
Yeah.
So just ask the one question.
Yeah. Do you like your potatoes fried or mashed? That tells you everything.
Sydney.
What up?
So, I mean, I definitely have to have you back on because this is super fun.
Dude, yeah, this was a lot of fun.
We might get a little more depressing next time.
It's fine. That's fine.
So this will be out in 3 weeks.
3 weeks, so November.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know if you have anything going on in November?
Yeah, I have just off the top of my head, I have a pretty big Veterans Day show. Yeah, my one of my, I guess you could call newfound friends. His name's Nick. He runs a nonprofit for veterans called Warriors Next Adventure. They're putting on a show, and AJ Wilkerson is headlining, so I'm going to open for him. It's gonna be sick. That's Veterans Day, so November 11th.
Do you know where?
I do. Not off the top of my head because I suck at this. It is at.
Okay, wait. So, do you see where it is?
Yeah.
Okay, now lower your phone. So, where's the show at?
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Wait, we
Because
got.
I was gonna cut it
Okay.
and make it seem like you knew the whole time.
All right. Yeah. I'm ready now.
So, where is it at?
It's at the Doghouse Bar and Grill in Maplewood, Minnesota.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And then socials, all the things.
Sydney Stephens comedy on all of the things. I'm starting to post more clips and stuff now, so I'm putting content out there.
No, that's spelled step hands.
Step hands. It's Sydney Stephens.
And then you have a new show with another comedian.
Yeah, Trailer Park Philosophers. It's Emma Dollenberg and me, and we have Leo Monty doing all the production on it. It's super cool. We're really loving it. That's where you can find more. If you have fun listening to me on here, come on over to the trailer park and sit down.
Well, awesome. Fucking thank you for making the trip and doing this. Much appreciate.
Nah, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, shut up. And to the listeners, be well to yourselves.